I'd like to welcome everyone on behalf of St. John's Baptist Church. We are here with Benjamin Snyder, and we are going to talk a minute about some important issues and help you prepare for the future event, Journey to Understanding, Stories of Immigrant Children and Families. Thank you so much, Ben, for being with us this morning. And I first wanted to start off by asking you if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and tell us about your work.
Sure. My name is Benjamin Snyder. I'm an immigration attorney and partner here with the law firm Muntean Snyder, PLLC. We trade under the trade name Charlotte Immigration Law Firm. You can find us at charlottelaw.net. Our law firm has been in operation since 2009. And we are a small law practice that focuses exclusively in the field of U.S. immigration law. So we represent foreign nationals with their efforts to obtain, maintain, and defend their legal immigration status and their freedom and right to live and work in the United States, as well as such foreign nationals, employers and business associates, family members, loved ones, and neighbors and the general community when it comes to U.S. immigration matters. I often tell people that we probably represent as many, if not more, U.S. citizens than we do foreign nationals, because given how our immigration system works, the path to legal immigration, permanent residency, or citizenship often requires a close relationship with some U.S. citizen, family member, or employer. So we represent foreign nationals and U.S. citizen individuals and American businesses equally, in all things having to do with immigration law.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing your experience and what y'all are working on over there. What would you say, what is some good work that's going on in the community now that's supporting immigrants at this time?
Yeah, so a couple examples that come to mind. First are the positive things. I have to know that there are a handful of very common sense, positive efforts that have been made by the U.S. immigration system. For example, ICE has temporarily suspended the majority of their field enforcement operations during COVID-19. ICE enforcement and removal operations have, for the most part, suspended their in-person ICE check-in appointments, or sort of like an immigration probation meeting, which can often turn into a deportation, depending on folks' circumstances. They've suspended their in-person appointments. The immigration field office has quite reasonably, for the most part, suspended their in-person appointments, not requiring individuals to come in, and in fact, in some cases, continuing with the adjudication and the finalization of certain green card or other immigration benefits applications without an in-person interview. Immigration has extended deadlines on some of their matters that would require a deadline. On the flip side, however, U.S. embassies and consulates around the world are closed and have suspended their in-person visa processing, which is necessary for any for the vast majority of foreign nationals who wish to enter the United States. They must attend a in-person visa interview. So, in effect, the immigration system, in many ways, is currently suspended, is closed, because the visa interview process at U.S. embassies abroad is simply not happening right now. Similarly, you have border shutdowns across most of the U.S. border with Mexico, as well as the U.S. border with Canada, and then of course there are the travel bans. There's a travel ban even for individuals who may otherwise have a legal path to traveling and immigrating to the United States. There's currently a travel ban for citizens of most European countries, China, and Iran. And then further, the Trump administration has temporarily suspended immigration of permanent immigration for entire categories of aspiring new Americans. So anyone who's immigrating to the United States based on a sponsorship from a family member more remote or more distant than a spouse, or a adult or a parent for a minor child, virtually is suspended for the time being. That's supposed to reach its 60-day expiration. That order, that temporary ban on most forms of immigration, is supposedly supposed to expire at the end of this month, at the end of June 23rd. So we'll see what happens. So that's what our system is doing. That's what the immigration system is doing. I want to also say, in the community, you look to organizations like the Episcopal Farm Workers Ministry is one that's done a lot of great work helping who you might describe as, or who we might describe as, essential workers, but because of their documented or undocumented status are not eligible for any of the stimulus funding that the administration has, that our government has issued and dispersed to American citizens. So these are people working in kitchens, people working in the farm, in farms across the country to keep our food supply chain intact. Oftentimes these folks are undocumented. They don't have current, proper, valid legal authorization to physically be in the country. Nonetheless, we are dependent on them to keep food on our table. The Trump administration has specifically barred them from receiving any stimulus funding or PPP loan funding for small businesses. And the organizations such as, the primary one that comes to mind is the Episcopal Farm Workers Ministry, which you can find at episcopalfarmworkerministry.org, is doing a lot of good work directly supporting such undocumented farm workers with food and clothing and housing support and financial support. So that's a good example of some good work being done right now on the ground, at the community level, to help support our immigrants, our immigrant friends, family, and neighbors. So, I know this is supposed to be a quick introduction, and I could go on and on and on, but I think those are the first things that come to mind.
Thank you, Ben. Yes, indeed. It's a really difficult time, and there's so many moving pieces, and very difficult for immigrants and immigration. So I'm glad to hear of those steps that the immigration system is in some ways trying to keep people safe, and hopefully we can get back to normal operations so people continue to seek opportunities in the U.S. and join family members. But I'm thrilled to hear about that boots on the ground work that you described. So thanks very much for those comments. We look forward to involving you in the dialogue in the future with our other participants, and that'll be a great event. Thanks so much, Ben.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see your and everyone else's smiling faces in person, and to have this very important dialogue in person. I can't wait. So thanks so much again for the invitation.